Hello everyone and welcome, I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about The Punisher, One Final Kill, or One Last Kill, sorry. So this was a 51-minute TV special, I guess you would call it. Most likely I think it would be considered a movie. Um, this is, we're unclear of exactly when this takes place. The assumption is this takes place around the same time as what was going on in Daredevil. Which also makes a lot more sense as well, or at least Daredevil season 2. So we see Punisher Frank Castle basically having a mental breakdown. He doesn't have a reason to live anymore. He has taken out every member of the crime families that had caused the deaths of all of his family members. So his plan was to end his life over at the gravesite of his family. Um, we see him kind of walking through the streets, dealing with the voices inside of his head, heavily PTSD as well, along with other mental health problems at this point as well. We see Curtis in his mind. We see Karen in his mind as well. All at different points saying bad things about him and then trying to help him at the same time. It's like Frank Castle just trying to deal with what he's been dealing with. So the idea is the city that he's in is in massive chaos. The reason why it's in chaos is because the Noki family, who was running the city, was taken out by Punisher. And now there was a power gap, and everyone's trying to get their hands on everything. So as he's walking through the streets and everything else, we see a lot of violence. We see one particular guy take a homeless man, punch or kick a homeless man, take his hat, take his dog, and then throw the dog in front of a moving truck, and unfortunately ended that dog's life. Punisher sees all of this and does nothing. He just keeps walking, gets coffee. Really, nothing is going on. We see him continue to go through everything. Like I said, he had changed his mind on wanting to, on ending his life because he saw a vision of his daughter. He then goes back to the house. Oh, on his way back to the house, I should say. He's been noticing that this particular black car has been following him. So they pull up to his home, and it is none other than Mrs. Noki, who is the wife and mother of all of the people that he has killed. So she states to him that, her and Frank are very similar, that they've both got that fight in them after their family has been murdered, and that they want to crave the blood lust. And Frank is listening because it's at least piqued his interest that somebody at least is explaining how he feels in a way that nobody else has ever done. So while they're having this conversation, he realizes that he was the one that killed all of the people in her life, and that she has a plan for him. And at 6:47, the day her precious baby died. Now we get to see how all of her family dies: her husband, then her three sons after that, and then she talks about the baby dying last and stating that it was 6:47. And she said, when 6:47 comes around, Frank, I'm going to pin your location and I'm going to put the biggest bounty on your head and everyone's going to come and claim it. So I hope you the best. So Frank just basically sits and waits. He hears all the voices in his head, basically ready to just be done. 6:47 comes around, and now all hell breaks loose. Every person who's looking to make money starts breaking into doors trying to find Frank Castle. During this, Frank is ready to just burn himself. Gasoline gets poured in, it gets lit up. He's ready to just get lit on fire. However, he refuses after hearing the cries of a young girl. Breaks down the door and starts going full Punisher. Now, granted, he's not in his Punisher outfit. I want to make that very clear. So he then spends the rest of the time taking weapons from everyone that he finishes, I guess you would say, and takes them all out one by one and just starts going through. He's taking blow after blow. He's gotten shot in the shoulder. He's trying to get people out of there. He's doing all this stuff, right? He starts running around trying to get, basically stop this from happening as best he can and saving as many people as he can. He gets knocked off the building, all this stuff. He sees Noki basically watching the whole thing. He's getting ready to kill her, except he sees what's going on at the coffee shop that he goes to all the time, and that the owner's getting beat up, and now he's worried about that little girl that's in there. So he goes in and just starts ripping people apart, takes out every single one of them. He gets stabbed through the chest by one guy, finishes everything, gets rid of them all. The owner comes back inside to go towards his daughter to get help. The daughter gives him like a cloth rose, and he takes it. So Frank continues to walk around. They're all trying to still go after him, but he takes everyone out one by one. Now the police start to come and start rounding people up, and that's when things finally start to calm down for Frank. So Frank goes over to the gravesite again, drops off the cloth flower, picks up the key to his old chest of Punisher memorabilia and outfit, decides that he's got a reason to live again, and takes it and goes away. And then the next time we see him, he's all healed up, cleanly, trimmed, I'll say, because he's not shaved, cleanly trimmed, nice haircut, goes in and starts taking out criminals one by one. The final guy he takes out is the one that we see do the first kill in the show, which is the guy who gets rid of the dog. So he removes the hat and gives it to the old guy, and the old guy, the homeless guy, basically states that that's not all he took from him. Punisher throws an axe right into his back, goes over to him and shoots him in the head, and that's how it ends. So the idea was, at first I was thinking like, oh no, this was such abruptly ended, but the way I took it is this was getting Punisher to basically be Punisher again. What I'm getting at is this was basically showing how he became the hermit of obviously not dealing with his life well and everything else, to then realizing that he has a purpose in this world and that he needs to continue to do his work, and that's what's going to keep him alive. And what my assumption is, this is why we're going to see him in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But we'll have to find out for sure. Now, obviously, Noki is still alive. I'm under the impression that the bounty is still very much alive for right now. So I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing the aftermath of that in Brand New Day, but we'll have to wait and see to know for sure. But for now, I thought it was a great telling of a man who is broken, severe PTSD, mental health problems, obviously, and not necessarily getting over them, but dealing with them, which is a very different turn of events of what we normally see. We normally see people get over it or all that stuff, and he's not over it. He's dealing with it and managing it, which I thought was a very good take on it. Also loved seeing Curtis and Karen in this episode, even if they were just hallucinations of Frank Castle. I'm curious to know if Curtis is actually alive, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But overall, I thought it was a great, movie. It wasn't like the clear-cut ending that we were expecting, I would say, but it definitely showed like the full circle of Frank Castle being Punisher again. And I thought that was the cool part. But let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.